The soulmate myth, the soulmate illusion. The big lie sold to us as romance. You've definitely heard it. If it's meant to be, it will be. Right. That's the kind of phrase that only works on New Age t-shirts or sepia-filtered Instagram posts. In real life, when it's meant to be, it will probably hurt, irritate you, and force you to confront everything you'd rather avoid in another person. Welcome to real love, where soulmates don't exist. Only people trying to tolerate each other with a shred of dignity. We were trained to believe in the one. It wasn't your fault. It was Disney. 2000 cinema, Coldplay songs, and fake Instagram couples gave us the perfect script. You live your little life until one day, in a bookstore or a bakery line, you bump into a mystical being who loves the same cult films, hates onions, and shares your exact childhood traumas. You lock eyes and bam, soul connection. The end. Reality? Well, reality is that most people you meet come with emotional baggage, questionable playlists, weird quirks, and an insufferable cousin who shows up at every BBQ. And there's no running away. The soulmate illusion is a perfect mechanism to keep you single forever because nobody, absolutely nobody, is going to tick every box on your romantic checklist. The naive optimism of modern love. Let's be honest, the generation that has an existential crisis choosing an ice cream flavor also thinks they can find the love of their lives based on a zodiac sign, a mirror selfie, and whether or not a Tinder bio has a typo. We've become experts at ghosting people over criteria as ridiculous as he likes passion fruit juice, or she wears the same sneakers as me. This modern romantic optimism is a cosmic joke. We believe so strongly that we'll find the ideal match that we start acting like we're buying a defective product every time we encounter a normal human being. We complain that he talks too much, that she snores, or that they don't like black and white Swedish films. As if it were a crime not to understand you instantly. As if it were mandatory to love you exactly how you imagined. But do you know what's behind all this optimism? Fear. A phobia of facing the true nature of relationships because accepting that no one will fulfill all your expectations requires you to grow up. And growing up is hard work. It's easier to keep searching, listing, and rejecting. We gave it a pretty name. Self-love. But often it's just upscaled narcissism. The micro-frustrations of daily life. Do you know when love dies? It's not through betrayal or screaming matches. Most of the time, love dies on a random Tuesday, somewhere between a cold goodnight and a poorly seasoned bowl of rice. No romantic comedy warns you that this wonderful human being will inevitably irritate you by the way they cut bread, the way they breathe while sleeping, or the way they tell jokes that aren't funny. These are the micro-frustrations that rot modern love like termites on a table leg, discreetly day after day, until everything collapses. Love is now domestic crisis management with a hint of thinly veiled sarcasm. And in the middle of these small tragedies, what do? We think we chose wrong. We think there's someone better out there. But guess what? There isn't. Everyone has a package of manias and flaws that only appear once the enchantment phase ends. And that's not pessimism. It's maturity. Real love is about holding your breath when they mess up again. It's about laughing at a stale joke just to keep the peace. The art of emotional negotiation. You know that talk about souls that fit perfectly? That's great for Lego. In real life, love isn't about fitting. It's about friction. It's sparks, it's obstacles, it's awkward conversations at 11 p.m. after a shitty day. What separates the couples who last from the divorce statistics? The ability to negotiate, emotionally, psychologically, and even silently. It's not love that sustains a relationship. It's negotiation. Love is just the reason you don't throw in the towel during the first storm, but negotiation is the skill that keeps the boat from sinking. Negotiating isn't about giving up everything, nor is it about being an emotional dictator. It's knowing how far you can go for love without losing yourself. Loving is choosing who you want to have your conflicts with, because there will be disagreements. Emotional compatibility isn't a gift from the universe. It's an achievement earned through well-resolved friction. The funeral of ideal love. Prepare the casket. Today we bury one of the most toxic ideas of your romantic life, the ideal love. This illustrious corpse haunts your relationships with promises of full compatibility and synchronized orgasms. As long as you don't give up on the perfect partner, you will keep hopping from relationship to relationship like someone switching Netflix shows because they got bored by the third episode. The ideal love must die so that real love can breathe. When you finally give up on perfection, something magical happens. You start seeing real people, not as walking disappointments, but as possible partners. This funeral is the greatest act of love you can commit. not for someone else, but for yourself. Only those who give up the fantasy are ready to love for real. To love is to forgive in advance. Here's the ultimate irony. Love always goes wrong. Even when it works, it goes wrong in parts. To love someone is basically to make a pact with inevitable failure. It's saying, I know you're going to annoy me, hurt me and frustrate me, and I'm in anyway. We've neglected the most important part of the equation, forgiveness in advance. Not the sappy forgiveness from soap operas, but the cold, lucid understanding that shit will happen. The other person isn't a glitch in the system, they are the system. And the system is bugged, just like you. We are all humans trying to love with broken tools. To love isn't to live in emotional bliss, it's to live in friction. It's wounding and healing together. It's knowing the other person will fail and deciding to build something on top of those failures anyway. Like an old sofa that sags but is the only place where you both fit. This isn't failure. This is maturity. This is love with scars, with stumbles, with a history. The only kind worth having.